Hello friends, and welcome to yet another video. I don't know why I started this like that, that's weird. Anyway, this is another story from our friend Emerald Aussie. We have yet another interesting tale, so here we go friends. Buckle in and get ready, I guess. This is, as we said, by Emerald Aussie, Raised by a Nice Guy, Part 1, Daddy's Girl. As you can hear, that made Sango quite sick. Let's get into it. Hey you. Yeah, you listening to this. You like to read things, don't you? Of course you do. You listen to this channel, which is all about reading. Well, it's actually about listening to things, but you know what I mean. If you want to read things, as in any kind of book, all the books, at the same time, not at the same time. That would be weird. You can do that by going to this wonderful sponsor. Who is this wonderful sponsor who has all of the books you could ever want and more? Well, it's bookshop.org. Yes, indeed. They sell every kind of book you could want. They have all of them. I don't have a specific example, but bookshop.org is a fantastic resource to get all of the kind of books that you are looking for, and you don't have to deal with Amazon, which is a plus. Bookshop.org connects independent booksellers from all over the world. It allows you to buy from people who actually would benefit, rather than some stupid faceless corporation that likes to build rocket ships that kind of look like dicks. You know the one. Also, every purchase from bookshop.org helps support independent bookstores. That's right. Every time you buy something you want and don't have to give your money to some dingbat on the internet, you know the one, you get to help out independent bookstores. You are helping people while getting what you want. It's hard to say no to that. And if you really want to do that, find out some weird stuff that your favorite space uncle might be reading right now, which is a nice way of saying, yes, I am. You can do that by going to my affiliate link, which is bookshop.org/shop/Moonhorse. Everything on that list are books that I've read or will be reading, and might be coming up in some stuff that maybe you ought to know about. Maybe you ought to check those out. Either way, check it out. Bookshop.org/shop/Moonhorse. Go there. Find something to read, why don't you? Make your life better. Hello again, Red X. Hey dude, what's up? Moonhorse, that's me. And you too, dear reader. I dare not be presumptuous enough to presume anyone will want to read this in a video. If anyone does, thank you. If not, well, writing this is cathartic, so even if no one reads this or cares, it serves a purpose for me. Also, subscribe to both Red X and Moonhorse. They're both awesome. Oh, well, thank you very much. You're very, very kind. Before we dive into this story, there's some things I'd like to get out of the way. First, I know my writing tends to have a lot of self-deprecating commentary, and that's because looking back, I see younger me as a fool, and I want to be the one to call that out before anyone else has the chance to. That's fair. I still care too much about what others think. I've gotten better at pretending I don't, but I do. Second, these stories will be heavy. There's no two ways around it. When you're raised by a nice guy, there's tale after tale of abusing and gaslighting. Yeah. That's why Red X always gives his readings a disclaimer. Consider this mine. I found it cathartic to share the Squirrelbeard saga to r/neckbeard stories, so I figured I'd give this a shot. This is more of a nice guy tale than a neckbeard one, so hello, r/nice guy stories. Finally, I'm not sure how long this saga will be, and I'm not 100% sure I can write these stories in order. I'm still recovering memories and therapy, so if something new comes up I want to share, I may end up jumping around, so bear with me. That's also fair. I mean, considering everything that you went through from what I know so far, it's totally fair. I debated a little bit about if this was a neckbeard or nice guy tale, but ultimately, he's a nice guy. No question. And so, with that, let's get into our cast and jump into the story. The cast, OP, myself, I'm about 3 and 4 years old in this story. Oh boy. Rapscallion, Rap, also known as biological father in the Squirrelbeard tale, but since this one focuses on him, I feel like I'll give him a name, and I looked up synonyms for douchebag and thought Rapscallion sounded cool. That's pretty fair. He's my sperm donor, and that is as far as my current relationship with him goes. At this point, he was my dad, and I was a daddy's girl. He was single at this point and still trying to get my mom back. She divorced him when I was about 2 months old. And of course, my mom, she protected me and tried not to allow me to see the hell that she was being put through by Rap. Uncle A-Hole, Rap's older brother, that he idolized and I hated because he was even worse than Rap, at least publicly. And that's it for part 1, so let's dive into this nice guy. Super cringe. Oh boy. If you have read Squirrelbeard, you know that I had a tale of 2 childhoods. This is where I illustrate that point, or at least start to. We're going way back to the tender age of 2 in this one. How do I possibly remember that far back? Well, my earliest memory was when I was 2, so I do have the ability to recall my earlier years. Also, I've taken what Mom and Rap have told me over the years and kind of pieced things together. I've recovered some things in therapy, and some of these events were just so fucking traumatic that I never forgot them. That said, some of these will be short tales that don't neatly flow into each other because I remember events, not long stretches of time. Also understandable. The first one will start when I was actually not quite 3. I believe I was 2 or just barely 3. Rap had this summer visitation with me, and we had decided to fly to the state where he was from and see his family, specifically Uncle A-Hole. There's also an amusement park he wanted to take me to. Wait, OP, you said in Squirrelbeard that Rap threatened to kidnap you. Why the hell did your mother let him take you anywhere? I hear you asking. How are you doing that? This is a question Red X himself brought up when he read Squirrelbeard. Well, this is a great time to explain that. The area I grew up in was very misogynistic at the time. Remember, this was the late 1980s.
It was the 80s.
And the courts pretty much always sided with men, aside from custody itself. It was thought that women should have custody, but short of that, whatever the man said was gospel. So when Rap would threaten Mom with saying if she didn't do whatever it was he wanted her to do, that he would kidnap me and she would never see me again, she believed him. And she also felt helpless to do much about it because she knew that no court would ever believe her. Yeah, kind of fucked up, but yeah, I feel, ugh. We like to remember the 80s as a good time, but there's some parts that were not really that good. Her lawyer told her as much. With that said, legally, he had visitation on every other weekend and 6 weeks during the summer. And yes, during each and every visit, Mom was a nervous wreck until I was brought home. Every other weekend and 6 weeks during the summer. I recognize that pattern. As someone else who was, raised in a divorce household, yeah, no, I totally recognize that pattern. As for what came during my teenage years and why she let me move in with him, we'll get there eventually. But the short answer is she legally didn't have much say at that point. So we arrived in Rap's home state and spent some time with his family. I did not like this because I had a severe case of stranger danger at the time. According to Mom, I was born a very nervous child, and she thinks that it's because of all the yelling and screaming that Rap and she did the whole time that she was pregnant with me and through my early life. And as much as I feared any strangers, men were so much worse. Mom had to make sure that I had a female pediatrician because if it was a male, I would freak out. To me, Rap's family were strangers. I didn't live near them, I didn't see them much. They were my family, but I didn't see them as such. Thus, most of the time I remember hiding behind Rap because that was the only place I felt safe. And for the most part, that was okay. It wasn't a super fun trip for me, but I did enjoy going to the amusement park. Because I was a toddler, duh. It was all fine right up until the last day of the trip. We went out to dinner with Uncle A-Hole and a couple of Rap's other siblings. At the end of dinner, we were standing in the parking lot and Rap was saying his goodbyes to his siblings. I was standing behind Rap's left leg, hiding. Most of the family was okay with that and simply waved to me, and I shyly waved back, but Uncle A-Hole, he was not okay with this. Come on, OP, give me a kiss. Oh, I fucking hate when people do that to kids. That's, Uncle A-Hole coked. On top of being a man that I didn't know, he also had hurt his leg and was wearing a big, bulky blue walking leg brace that I was scared of. I closed my eyes and tried to make it all go away. OP, come on, he said again. I grabbed Rap's leg. He's your uncle. Give him a hug and kiss goodbye, Rap said. I shook my head, eyes still closed. OP now, Rap commanded, his voice rising. I think I was embarrassing him in front of his dear older brother, and he did not like that. I was a young, timid girl. I cried if you looked at me the wrong way. When anyone even slightly raised their voice, I absolutely cried. This pissed Rap off even more. Why are you crying? Insert full legal name here, as parents do. Oh, yeah, I know that one too. Give your uncle a kiss now, he yelled, grabbing my arm and pulling me out from behind him. Before we even go on, I do want to say that this is a thing that I really don't fucking like, and I hate when people do this to kids. Kids may be small and not, I guess what you would say, fully like adult, intelligent humans, but they are still people, and you should respect their bodily autonomy. If they don't feel comfortable with something, don't make them do that. That's how you really, really fuck someone up. It's totally not cool. So, yeah, that's kind of messed up. I remember being so scared and grossed out at being forced to do this. I gave Uncle A-hole a hug, hoping that would be enough. It was not. Uncle A-hole turned his head for me to kiss his cheek. I looked back at Rap with a do I have to look, and he gave me a look that told me I'd better do what Uncle A-hole wanted. I leaned in, still crying, and put my lips to his cheek, and to this day, I remember how gross and icky that felt and how scared I was being forced into this and having no control over the situation. I don't know, maybe no one else sees this as a big deal, and maybe you think I'm overreacting, but the vividness of this memory I still hold is fairly traumatic. It's the first time I recall feeling a full loss of autonomy for my body, but not the last. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. That is super fucking uncool. Kids are especially vulnerable to this kind of thing, so it's really fucked up that people do this because it really kind of makes them feel like they don't have any autonomy and that they're not allowed to say no to something that makes them, just uncomfortable or scared. That's really just, I fucking hate it. Let's jump forward in time to the middle of my 3rd year, give or take. Rap had me for his scheduled weekend, and we had done normal things that weekend, like go to the mall, watching MTV, eating steak and mac and cheese with chocolate chip cookies for dessert. Doing these things are among the only happy memories I have with him. I remember that weekend at the mall, I was riding on his shoulders. I usually did this on mall visits, and the whole time he would point out other kids that had both parents with them. I don't like where this is going. Opie, look at that. Wouldn't it be nice if you had your mommy and daddy together? Rap asked me. Yeah, I agree, because what 3-year-old would not agree with that statement? I bet their mommy and daddy live together. Do you want your mommy and daddy to live together again? I do. You should tell... Oh my god, yeah, this is super manipulative. You should tell mommy, he said. That Sunday he was driving me home. I hate dropping you off. It's not fair I don't get to see much. I wish I could see you more, Rap said. Why can't you? I asked. Mommy won't let me, he said. Ask her if you can see me more, I said. She would tell me no. Maybe if you ask her, she'll say yes. I nodded and said, will you come with me? Of course. This is so fucking manipulative. Holy shit. So we get back to my mom's flat, and he knocked on the door, and she opened to let me in, but he came in as well. Rap, what do you want? She asked, exasperated. Rap looked at me. Can we live with Daddy? I asked. Mom blinked. What? No, honey. Mommy and Daddy both love you very much, but we don't get along with each other, and we can't live together. I'm sorry. Okay, can I see Daddy more then? No, you live here, but you can visit Daddy like you have been. She's my daughter, too. I should get to see her whenever I want, Rap said. Here comes the nice guy. He's being told no, and instead of discussing it like a normal person, he will snap. Oh, the old nice guy 180. My mom looked at him. Let's not do this in front of her. Why not? This is about her, and she wants more time with me. Oh my god, don't fucking do that. Mom looked at it. Okay, no. Rap, I know that you put her up to this, and I'm not doing this in front of her. Please leave my house, and we'll discuss this later. No, we're gonna do this now. Why can't I see my daughter? She's my fucking kid, he screamed. Now I'm starting to cry. Remember timid kid that hates loud noises? Rap, get out of my house, Mom cried. Not until you let me have more time with my daughter. Rap, if you don't leave, I'm calling the police. Mom threatened, looking towards the phone hanging on the wall nearby. Look at that, OP. Your mommy's gonna have Daddy thrown in jail. I fucking hate this guy. Oh my god. I grabbed Mom's arm. Mommy, please don't call the police on Daddy, I begged through tears. This was my fault. I was the one that brought this topic up. I caused this and had to stop it. OP, go to your room, Mom said. Don't have Daddy thrown in jail. OP, go to your room. I went to my room, like Mom said, and I got in bed and cried. I felt terrible for what I had caused. I remember hearing some more screaming, and I vaguely remember Mom coming to check on me when she finally got Rap to leave the flat. She told me that he left and she didn't call the police. I remember crying and her telling me that she wasn't mad and this wasn't my fault, but I still felt like it was. Of course, as an adult, I see that he was trying to use me to get to my mom, and it's sick. At 3, I didn't get that. Yeah, this is really fucked. How about one more tale? This one occurs at the end of my 3rd year, or just after I turned 4. Hard to remember for sure. What I do remember is I love to go to the pool, and a cute little Tweety Bird one-piece suit. It was a blue suit with pink crisscross straps and a big picture of Tweety on the front, and I also had a red and white Hello Kitty ring float that I absolutely loved having around my waist. On this day, I was visiting Rap, and he took me to the pool at his flat. He decided this was the day I would learn to swim and told me as such. I don't see this ending well. I told him that I could swim, and I swam across the pool with my ring float around my waist. No, OP, you need to swim without that, Rap said. But I can't. That's why I'm going to teach you. But I like my float. You need to swim without it, he said again. Take it off. So I started to tear up, which pissed him off. Now, oh God. No, young lady. Oh, this fucking guy. Oh my God. I nodded and took it off. He snatched my float from me and threw it across the pool yard, and it landed somewhere on the other side of the pool area, outside of the water. I started crying, and he commanded me to swim to him as he stepped away from the wall that I was holding on to. No teaching, just do it. Yeah, that's a really fucking bad idea. Wow, this guy is such a fucking douche. I can't, I said through tears. Full legal name once again. Swim now, he said. I let go of the wall, but I was crying and felt unsafe, so I grabbed the wall again. Swim to me, damn it, he yelled. I can't, I said through tears again. God damn it, if you won't swim, I'll make you swim. I don't like where this is going. He screamed as he snatched me up and spanked me and then threw me across the pool into the deep end. Yeah, that is 100% how you nearly fucking kill your child. This guy is a fucking monster. And yes, dear reader, I fucking swam. I was crying so hard that I could barely breathe, and I was traumatized for life, but I fucking swam. Jesus, dude. I did confront Rap about this as an adult. I was on the phone with him and asked him why he did several of the things he did that traumatized me. Most, he said, never happened, and that I must have dreamed that. But this one he did admit to. That was traumatizing, you know. I had a fear of losing a child to drowning. I had to make you swim. Like that? You had to do it like that? You just swam, didn't you? Oh, this fucking dude. Oh, this fucking... Ugh. I was dumbfounded and moved the conversation along after that statement. Yeah, I fucking swam. Worth it? Yeah, no, it's not. And these are the 3 events that I remember clearly. There were other things, like when he would kiss up my arm, and when I told him I didn't like it, he would say, well, your mom lets me do it, or how he would insist on walking around the house and even sleeping with me in the bed wearing only tidy white, ew, or how he would peel my toenails when they got low, instead of clipping them. Jesus. And if I complained that it hurt, he got mad at me. I wonder why I felt no self-autonomy over my body by the time Squirrelbeard came along. Yeah, this is fucked. These events cover from age 2 to 4, and we barely scratched the surface, so I'll end this with a little bit about how the world sees Rap. If you ask anyone that isn't his child or love interest, past or present, they'll tell you that Rap is a devoted family man that is an amazing father. They'll tell you that his kids are everything to him, and that the oldest one, me, is a bitch for cutting him out of her life. She's a spoiled brat that took for granted everything he did to her. He's charming and likes to appear to be salt of the earth. Appearances can be deceiving when you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. His mask slips only when he's told no, especially by a woman in a position of power. This is when the true nice guy comes out. He's very charming to a woman until she tells him no or gives him an order, and even then he's careful about who he lets see behind the mask. So we have part 1, when I was still very much a quote-unquote daddy's girl. I look back at that little girl and all the pain and confusion that she holds, and it makes me sad, especially now that I'm a parent myself. I would never even dream of doing the things he did to me, to my own child. This isn't exactly a story to be enjoyed, but I hope you enjoyed it the way I told it anyway, and that maybe this was somewhat cathartic, or at least interesting to you. In part 2, I'll talk about my primary school years, and the time Rap tried to literally murder my step monster. Oh. Okay. So let's go over this in pieces. There's a lot of pieces, but let's start with what I kind of said in the beginning of this. First off, I understand that, this is a kid, and as a parent, sometimes you have to instruct your kids to do or not do certain things, so they don't get hurt or so they learn something. But completely undermining your kid's bodily autonomy is really fucked up, and don't do that. I've also been through shit like that when I was younger. There are people who just do that. May not even be your parents. 'Cause my parents really didn't do anything like that, but I remember having, other people, teachers, family members, distant family members, that kind of shit where they're just like, no, you have to do this. And it's it feels very, demeaning and insulting. So that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. And I didn't think it could get, much more fucked up until the swimming story, in which this guy nearly fucking kills his child. Because that idea of just, throw them into the deep end, they'll learn to swim. No, dude. That's fucked. That's so fucking horrible. Why the fuck would you do something like that? And then that bullshit excuse. Well, I have a fear of losing a child to drowning. I had to make you swim. Okay, so your fear of losing a child to drowning means nearly drowning your child? What the fuck are you? What even is this? This guy is a highest order fucking douchebag. I don't like this man at all. Period. I am fucking pissed off about this. OP, I am very, very sorry that you had to go through this, and I really hope that the therapist that you're talking to and the people that you're working through this with are, really helping, because this is fucked, man. This is really fucked up. Fuck this guy, dude. Just fuck this guy. I don't want to do the usual outro. I'm too angry to fucking deal with this shit. Just, the things. Just be excellent to each other, man. Don't fucking let assholes like this guy, ruin your day or your life or anything. Just, fuck, dude. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next one.